Yeah, the first 5 days will correspond to the when the when you can see the top of the constellation, but the bottom would still be cut off and unseen at nighttime when the stars rise or whatever. The first 5 days will correspond to only seeing the top or the top half of the constellation, or the half that sits above the horizon. And the other 5 days, the other half of the constellation will rise above the horizon. You'll see the whole thing, and then the next one will take place from pretty much what I got when I was reading up on that. But the 36 duodeacons, the 36 different the 36 duodeacons in 10 weeks on the 10 deacons, you got the 32 the 12 months of the zodiac. Then each month has 3 weeks, and that's the 36, and then each week was 10 days, so that's where you get the 360 days from. And then the 72 comes when you split the each week into 2 weeks, which with 36 times 2 gives you 72. So that's the duodeacons or whatever. That's looking at it through the Satyphon mythology, because you're looking at it from the multiplication or the splitting up. The 36 turns to the 72 when you cut each week in half and look at it from the 2 different aspects of the positive and the negative aspect of the looking at it through that. But when you're looking at it through the whole or the oneness, even with the zodiac, like we say 12 zodiacs, but it's really 6. It's really 6 zodiacs, each zodiac having 2 aspects, which makes it to 12. So so the stars, even the stars on the flag, correspond to the pineal gland and the 72 duodeacons, because these are the 72 chakras, which are the 72 stars that's on the pineal gland, corresponding to the 72 duodeacons that we perceive as outside of us through the zodiac signs and zodiac belt or whatever. As outside, as without, so within, as above, so below. So the red, white, and the blue corresponds to the backbone of Osiris, because the white spine, like I said, the white spine and the light that travels up the spine, the serpent. The neuromelanin that sits around the spine, that's where you get your black and blue thing from. And then you have the red blood vessels or whatever that sit on the side, on both sides of the spine or whatever. That's the red, white, and blue. That's the backbone of Osiris. This is why when you see the movie Rocky, this is why Apollo Creed, Apollo is the Greek version of Osiris. And as a matter of fact, to show and prove that the Bible is nothing more than a later day version of our ancient African, which the Bible itself is African. All this shit comes from us. But Apollo, if you study Apollo, you'll find out that Osiris is that Apollo is another form of Osiris. Apollo is found in the Bible. So here you have Osiris in the Bible, when he's in the Bible in many forms. But here you have Osiris in the form of Apollo. Now in the movie Rocky, Damn, I thought I wrote that shit up in here, man. Fuck. But in the movie Rocky, I saw that was profound, you know, what they did with the character, because you have Rocky played by Carl Weathers. Man, where's this shit at on Apollo? Hold on, gotta find it. But you have Rocky. I mean, you have Apollo. Apollo, if you pay attention to when he goes to, when he fights the Russian, Drago, Apollo, he's dancing and singing and shit. Now, I went and seen Adonis. Adonis meaning the Apollo creed, first and foremost, means the creed of Apollo or the creed of Osiris. And then you got Adonis creed, which is his son. Adonis is the Lord. Osiris is the father. Apollo is the father. Adonis creed would be Heru, the one who comes to avenge the death of his father. Now, when you look at now, Apollo is a Osiris is a patron of poetry and music. Now, there was some movie that just came out not too long ago, with your boy in there, what's the boy name? Columbus Short. And he was it was a movie on Rocky Marciano, if I'm not mistaken. And they had Columbus Short playing the I think Muhammad Ali. No, he was playing Apollo or something like that. It was something like that. But he was saying when he was playing and he was doing an interview, and he said that Apollo was based off of Apollo Creed was based off of Muhammad Ali character. I mean, it was based off Muhammad Ali. Now, interesting here. First and foremost, like I said, Osiris is a patron. Osiris and Isis are both. Man, I'm gonna find that shit, man. I thought I wrote the motherfucking page number down in here, but I wrote that shit in one of my notebooks. But when you look at, you know, I went to see the last time I really watched Rocky. I went to see Apollo on Creed like a week or two later, and when I before I went, I guess about a week before, I seen Apollo. So now, I mean Rocky. So I'm sitting there watching this shit. I'll find it later. I'm sitting there watching this shit, and I see Apollo. You know, he comes to the ring, he dancing and shit, singing and screaming, living in America and shit. So okay, on one hand I understand he's the patron of music and all things niggas, cause he just dancing and singing and shit. Then you take it back to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, what was Muhammad Ali? He was a poet. You know what I'm saying? You know, he did his poem thing. So Muhammad Ali was representing Osiris energy. And I'm gonna show you something even more interesting about Mr. Ali here. The Ali spirits. When you look at God in the Bible, you go get a concordance. Look up Elohim. Elohim was plural. The Elohim was God. See, because they'll see, you know, Christians and Jews and all that say, well, it's only one God. But then when you look at one of the original words of God, which is Elohim, Elohim is a plural. Elohim is plural. That's the 7 gods. The Elohim corresponds to the 7 chakras, the 7 wheels of the 7 spiritual wheels underlying or within the 7 cluster melanin chakras, the clusters of melanin called chakras that run up the spine. And then you have the pineal gland, which is the 8. You got the 7, and then the oneness of them all brings forth the 8. So you have the 7. You have the 7 chakras, or the 7 spiritual wheels, or spiritual centers, 7 main spiritual energies, and then the 8th chakra will be like the pineal gland, or the oneness of the 7. So you have the 7, and then all of them operating to bring forth the 8th, or the 8th. It's why the trying to let's see 264. No, this ain't it. Hold on. But the seven third from the root chakra, sacral chakra, the solar plex chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and then you have the crown chakra. That's the 7. But then the 8 would be will correspond to the actual halo or whatnot. But the halo in the pineal gland are like 1. So it's like this, you can look at it like this: the 7, the 7 would be the 7 chakras, but then you'd have that white light within the pineal gland that would be become the 8. That's the 7 and the 1. So talking this shit, I'm not even looking at the fucking page. Okay, 264. Show y'all something. Now, Muhammad Ali's name before he became a part of the Nation of Islam was Cassius Clay. Elohim, or the Ali spirits, correspond to the 7 workers of Ptah. You had Ptah, which was he was the head of the 7. The 7 that plowed through the earth to create the opening of a mental, so to speak. The 7 helpers would be the 7 chakras or whatever, all the energies that exist within these chakras, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So you could just look at it as 7 different types of energy, 7 different planets. The 7 major planets all have a certain energy that adds on through the building process of what we call this universe or the planet or whatever. So you have the 7 Ptah, and it's 7 helpers. Ptah and the 7 to be 8. And then you have the Elohim, the 7 helpers. They are the molders and shapers of the construction process. So let me go right here. The Egyptian word Keper, that's the beetle-headed goddess, the potter, the shaper of the shaper with the builder, the shaper of the of formation or whatever, physical formation and all that. So you have the Egyptian word Kefer, signifies formation, calling to assume a shape, as when the potter molds his clay or the beetle rolls its egg up in a ball of earth. At this stage, the 7 elemental forces entered his service as the molders, who are called his 7 assistants or associate gods, the Ali, Elohim. So, before Muhammad Ali became Muhammad Ali, he was Cassius Clay. He was the clay. When he went into the Nation of Islam, he became Muhammad Ali. He became the molder of the clay. You know what I'm saying? That's no coincidence that this book was written like that. Let me see. That was just beautiful how they lined up. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at that, I was like, damn. But yeah, the Ali spirits, these are the 7 crafters, or that energy I was telling you about that lies within the chakras or whatever, as opposed to the physical chakras themselves. It's the actual energy, the unseen energy that lies beneath the jewels, that you're supposed to raise up, and that is the true shaper. The soul, the mind is where what molds or creates the mold, or the ideal of any type of creation. And then you go without in order to bring it into a physical fruition, you have to look without yourself and gather all the proper resources in order to build or cast the mold or whatever, or build or take the thought within your mind and bring it to a physical fruition. You have to it comes from a synthesizing all of the it's like building and destroying. In your mind, you build it. The mind is the blueprint. You see what you want to manifest within your mind, and then you take into account everything you need outside of yourself to bring it to a physical fruition. Within you is when it's whole. The thought, the ideal is the oneness, or so if you're thinking about building a house that's not here yet, you picture it in your mind. In your mind, you see it, the whole, you see it in its entirety. It's called the Neb Erder, seeing the Father in its full form. And you think about it in your mind, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And then when it's time to do it physically, or do it on a physical level, everything that it takes to build this house that you see in your mind is divided around you. So you have to go and gather, the same way ISIS had to go and gather the different pieces of Osiris and put them back together. You have to go and gather all the different resources that you need outside of yourself to bring forth the house that you see within your mind to a physical fruition. So everything's separated. You gotta go get your tree, you gotta go get the wood from the tree, the carpet, just all the different elements, the hammers and everything you need to build and all that. You gotta go get all that, bring it to a common point and build the house. So that's what the Ali spirit thing is, the Kepler, Muhammad Ali being the like I said, Cassius Clay. And it's almost as if when he came in contact with the Nation of Islam, he came in contact with the Elohim within himself. So Muhammad Ali and Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Nation of God's Earth, which our symbolism is the 7. You know what I'm saying? That's our universal flag. So when Muhammad Ali came into contact with the Nation of God's Earth, Nation of Islam, that was him coming in contact with the Elohim, and he was shaped and molded into one of the Elohims or the Muhammad Ali or the Ali spirits. He was corresponding to the Ali. That was him being initiated into his Aliism. You know what I'm saying? Coming in contact with the Ali within, ultimately. You know, that's why he was such of a marvel within what he did, because he was in tune with his God self.